how was this project? How'd you?
This was fun. I mean, obviously a little bit lighter project compared to what we've done with some of your other cars, since it came fully wrapped.
Sure.
And the wrap from the factory, we thought it was a good quality wrap. You know, a couple tidy ups here and there. Window tints a little challenging on that car. Not quite a GT500, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then clean it up, ceramic coating on it. I came in and did polishing up in those areas, that very top piece with all the vents up in there. But they don't wrap that area, most likely because of the amount of heat that's coming from the engine right there.
Sure.
You know, you'd get film doing weird things and almost melting. That's a crazy car.
You want to walk in and
Yeah. Let's go check it out. I think it's nuts. Yeah, we've got 8 to 10 cars in here that we're trying to manage all at once. So, you know, say right now there's quite a few packed on the other side of the door and some stuff out back.
So what do you guys think of this compared to other hypercars that you've had in here doing, I guess from just not just like an install standpoint, but like a visual special standpoint?
Yeah, visually this car, wow, it's quite a bit different. I mean, I think you got a little bit of a speed tail with a Senna combo going on. The back end, I mean, it just gives you it gives you a race car feeling about it as opposed to just a street car,
like an LMP car.
Yeah, exactly. That piece across the back, visually striking. There's so many lines. Like from our perspective, when you're talking about paint correction, paint protection film and things, a car like this is extremely challenging. To work out.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, just a lot of angles, a lot of shapes.
Very different in person, isn't it?
Yeah,
than pictures.
Than the pictures. Yeah. What an amazing car. I mean, just moving it, you know, from outside and in and moving it around. I had to get in there, figure out like, okay, how do you open the door? How do you, you know, trying to find things.
It's very Senna-ish layout.
Yeah.
You know, with everything up top, which is more what they're going to. The speed tail that's coming in, everything's kind of like a fighter jet feel up top.
We were told that the doors, I believe, were one of the main pieces taken from the Senna because the cost to re-engineer the doors was just so costly that they couldn't make it happen. But from this angle, I mean, you can really see the Elva. It's the first car I've ever noticed any cues taken from another. Yeah, well, like the front vents too. Mm-hmm. That's very Elva.
Yeah, it's very Elva. Now I know the functionality on the Elva for it is different. It creates the little wind capsule. Or whatever. That was just really cool. So then, you know, after we agreed to this, and then after, you know, we had some other stuff coming, you know, we already had the P1 and the Senna, you know, we agreed to do this, and, you know, that combined with having a good relationship, they were able to give us one of their experimental prototype speed tails. You know, I mean, you just don't feel like you almost go spec it, you do everything, and then you got to put it out of your mind. Yeah. It's just like, okay, like you kind of just have to try to not think about it. Because I mean, 18 months, whatever. And the original guys in this project, I mean, it's been, there's some stuff there, but I mean, it's probably been 3 years.
At least 3 years.
And like to see it in person when you do it is crazy.
Right. You can't really tell how dramatic the lines are in any picture or any play model.
When you go from kind of that two-dimensional image of it to be able to see it like this.
There's a few cars like that. The Chiron is definitely one of them. If someone that's never seen a Bugatti in person, they think it's just this big, bulky boat, and then you see it in person, it's like, wow, this thing probably can handle pretty well. And this is very similar. Same with the Regera. In person, it's
weird though. One of my favorite things on this car are the mirrors. The mirrors are very different than any other McLaren.
And they're actually designed to direct aero downward, I believe is what you're told.
But very, I don't know, Pagani-ish to me. Like not quite so
teardropper.
Like, you know, dramatic. But it had more of a Pagani feel.
It definitely does, being around a few Paganis.
So we noticed quite a few, like around here had a lot of like light scratching or whatever. Because like, you know, when it first delivered, we were looking at it like, oh my God.
Yeah, the reality is you get into hand-built hypercars, supercars. There's a lot of handling of the vehicle by the time it leaves the factory to the time it gets to its final destination, and it's not something that is you know, a drawback from what the factory's doing. It's just the reality of things. I mean, it's just
well,
just the reality.
That's good. I mean, we've gotten to have a really good relationship with you guys.
Yeah.
Which we have. I mean, have very few relationships that are as good as what we've had.
Yeah, well, you know,
guys.
that goes both ways. And we were just talking the other day about, you know, coming up to the house when you had 5 or 6 cars.
Yes.
And the first car was the turbo that was sitting right here. You know, that video you guys did here recently, show at the back, had the old graphics on the wall.
Yeah, that was our first post.
It's actually coming up in January 30th. We posted that.
You know, I talked to you and you're like, yeah, I'll come up there and look at a few cars. So I mean, not knowing anything. To make that drive and come walk the cars with us. I mean, you kind of knew too that it was going to be a good relationship because we'd never done that. We'd never gotten anything protected at that point.
Yeah,
we didn't.
And it takes time for the educational aspect stuff that you guys learn. You know, what can be done, what can't be done. We don't enter these relationships kind of like we're the providing. You know, we're the service workers, so to speak. You know, we're helping share in a passion that you've got for the vehicle.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, it really comes through in the work. You know, we've been to other detail places before, never to the extent which we want to do it like this. But it's just nothing's compared to the professionalism and I mean the end results. So what was the hardest part?
Well, the hardest part, there's no question about it. It's polishing all this area up in here. You know, because it's very intricate. It's tough to get to, being a very wide, low car. You know, leaning across here to be able to get to all the areas. That's when it's nice to have the right kind of tools to access it all. Draping towels over to try to get to the areas. But anytime you get these cars that have really intricate areas like these vents here, particularly when they're in a middle section of the car, they're just hard. I mean, you'd like a Mission Impossible kind of harness thing to hold me down from the ceiling
drop you down
and go over. It would be
That's funny.
A little
walk in, Todd's hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I know at first thinking about PPFing the entire car, it was a big investment. Especially towards the beginning of things. And it was like, you know, I remember weighing those options. It's like, God, is it worth doing like the full car? It is paid for itself.
Yes.
In repair probably like 5 times over. So it's like not even a question if it's a good if it's good investment piece.
We've had a lot of customers that were saying like you at the beginning, weren't really sure, but all it takes is that first time where something gets hit, but it's not damaged underneath, and all you do is peel off a panel, repair that one section as opposed to having to go into repainting. And then you got the story that goes along with it,
Nightmare.
And resale value and all the other things that can happen.
Especially like with full carbon.
How do you go about protecting something that has multiple layers? A skin, essentially, is what they call it on this car. It's just, how do you get in there to do that?
Because I mean, even thinking about that.
I mean, it's really, it's really challenging, and fortunately, we've got a team of artisans who've got the tools, the skill, know how to get in there and get it protected and make it look good. You know, that's the whole thing right there. You can go in and just throw some film on it, and we've seen some crazy things out there that people say, it looks good. But to do it where it's protected and it's hard to tell that there's any kind of protection on there. One thing that's hard to really quantify is when you get a car completely wrapped, when you go drive it, you're not worried about it.
That's right.
Otherwise, when you're out driving, every little ting, 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 you're here and you're cringing thinking, that's going to leave a mark, it's going to leave a mark.
Like days like today.
Today, like it's fine to go drive home today. It's got snow tires, it's fully protected. Like, I'm not going to be worried about it. When we get home, we'll wipe it down. Make sure everything's clean again. And it's ready.
Thanks to Todd and his team, it'll look like this again. Let's
Enjoy
take a look at the inside.
It looks really good.
You notice the color gradient Alcantara?
Which is crazy.
First time they've done that. It's very
Black
unique.
and the blue.
And it might be the only Sabre that they did that on. I'll have to double check, but I believe that's one of the.
It's a new style for, this is kind of a format thing, but it's kind of cool. That's a brand new style of format that they did.
Yep.
That I thought was interesting.
Yeah, well, and that like the brushed, like blue
yep.
aluminum,
Yep.
whatever you want to call that.
Yep.
It looks that's brand new for this. It was a new thing they did. Looks amazing, and it's actually gradient on the steering wheel too. How it fades, like the blue, like that fades really cool. And we did the window tint.
Yep.
Which always makes everything look better.
Yeah, window tint's just where it's at.
It is.
That you got to go a little incognito when you're driving these things.
Right.
Yes.
Just a little bit. Well, as
Awesome.
always, man, we appreciate you guys having us a part of your
course.
program and everything
appreciate
here.
it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's been great over the years, and watching you guys grow and allowing us to grow along with you.
Awesome, man.
We're looking forward to the next ones.
Yep.
That's time to jump in this thing and drive it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. We know what to expect. Ferrari is one of the worst offenders, I guess I would call it, but
Just referring to
Job
the
security.
paint coming from the factory.
yeah,
and the work it entails to get it correct.
their paint itself is good, but you know, they go in and they hit it with a polisher and stuff and don't do it right. So we have to go in and fix it, and we can take $1 million Ferrari and have to spend 40 hours, polishing and everything.
Well, and
getting it right.